Alrighty, it's July 2nd. You know what that means? The year is half over. So it's time to take stock of the things we've accomplished and what we have planned for the next half. Now, despite a lackluster performance in both my personal and professional life, I actually got quite a few things done that I can be proud of, just not nearly as much as I would have liked. But that's what happens. Life gets in the way, and sometimes things get postponed. Still, I have a positive outlook for the rest of the year, so I guess let's dive into it. First of all, the major milestone I completed was finishing the Reedsy Masterclass. Now, I learned a lot during the masterclass of how to write a novel, and I really kind of felt at a loss when it was over. It was part of my morning routine for 3 months, and then it's done. But I did learn quite a bit. Not just Tom Bromley didn't just explain how things worked, he also gave you real world examples of how authors implemented those things into their own books. So there's plenty of examples to go from, and it really drove the point home for everything he was teaching. And I find myself doing a lot of the things that he's taught while writing Fury. And of course, Shadows of Atlantic City, which is the book I started for the masterclass. Another milestone I accomplished this year was monetizing the YouTube channel, kind of. Now, I still don't have the watch time to get AdSense revenue, but I was able to add channel memberships, which are kind of fun. And if you're curious, you can click on the join button below to see what I offer. I'm still trying to work out the ins and outs and trying to get into the whole swing of creating special content, so bear with me. Unfortunately, I'm several months away from hitting the 4,000 hours of watch time in order to get AdSense revenue, so I'm not holding my breath exactly for that, especially with how finicky AdSense can be. But hey, I can use an extra $100 a month, so for one thing, it'll help me buy a new camera instead of using this webcam. Another accomplishment that I had this year so far was finishing the first draft of Shadows of Atlantic City. This is my newest book, which is the Dark Western. It was a lot of fun to write, a lot of research went into it, and I still have quite a bit to do. I finished the first draft, I still have to edit, which is going to entail adding a bunch of details that I want to really flesh out Atlantic City in 1874, as well as the people. I mean, there's a lot more that I still have to do before I can call it good, but it's a great book. At least I think so, anyway. And if all goes well, I can start editing in about a week and a half. Unfortunately, because of recent events, I have no idea when the book's going to be available for purchase, but I'll be sure to let you know. And lastly, one thing I felt that was quite an accomplishment for the channel this year was to set up the author interviews. I've met quite a few awesome people on, especially threads, and we've had some great interviews and some interesting conversations, and I'm really looking forward to adding more authors as the year goes by. Of course, I have to market that, and I just really don't do marketing very well. That is something I definitely need to fix. So that's about it. I didn't really accomplish a lot this first half, but I did hit a few milestones, so I'm going to call every victory a victory. And that's the trick to it all. I mean, you don't have to accomplish big, grandiose things that make your life feel like it's moving forward. I know a lot of people who take baby steps to progress to where they want to be in life. It's not a race. So relish in those things that you have accomplished, no matter how small they are, because after a while they start to add up and they build onto your self confidence. At one point, you'll be able to say, I'm a badass. Like when I started freelance writing, I had no idea what I was doing. It took me a year and a half before I could quit my job at the school district to write full time. It all came down to baby steps and surpassing my previous bests. I'm all about breaking personal records. So, what's to come of the second half of 2024? Well, some of my goals, I'm still looking forward to publishing 3 books. That is Shadows of Atlantic City, Fury, and Seven. It's going to be awfully close, but I think I still might be able to do it without making the book feel rushed. Because I don't want to just publish any old thing. I want to put in the highest quality I can possibly provide. But I also know that if you sit there and try to revamp your book for 10 years, you'll never get it published. There's got to be a point where you say, it's good, let's put it out. Another goal is to monetize with AdSense. Now, according to my spreadsheet, I am just a few months away from getting enough hours to start earning ad revenue. That's because I track everything weekly and estimate how many hours I am short from hitting the illustrious 4,000 inside of a 12-month period. I'd probably have far more if I was more consistent, which I'm trying to be. But as I said, an extra $100, $160 a month, it's not enough to go out and buy a new house, but it will help me afford some of the smaller things, especially since now I have to pay for Grandpa's storage because of the Father's Day incident. Now, that's a long story, but bottom line is that we had to move 2,400 square feet of house in a very, very short amount of time. And which leads me to have to pay for $150 a month for storage. So at least the AdSense money will help offset that and put me back to my normal finances, which still isn't enough in the grand scheme of things. Another thing I want to do in the last half is get the blogs back on schedule. I've been trying to do this for a very long time, and it'd be nice to actually, I don't know, earn ad revenue from the websites that are actually pulling it in. Like right now, I think I make like between 40 and 50 cents a day from AdSense thanks to WriterSanctuary. Having to fight Google's algorithms, though, that is such a pain in the ass. But I would like to get the blogs back on schedule, not just because of the ad revenue and hopefully earn Google's good graces, but because there's some people that follow them that I would like to keep in the loop, and I feel like I'm letting them down. Something else I want to do in the second half of 2024 is figuring out how to marketing works. Now, there's lots of different ways to market your book and market your blog, and I don't do very many of them. Mostly that comes down to a lack of time and money, but motivation has been playing quite a big role in it. Now, I doubt I'll generate as much money as Stephen King or J.K. Rowling, but selling a few books here and there would go a long way to being able to afford a lot of the stuff that I want to do for the blogs and the channel. Not to mention helping me buy a brand new computer since mine is kind of old. Now, the goal for this is to try a variety of different ways to market and then share my experiences to possibly help somebody else learn what works best for them. Because that's how I roll. I share everything, regardless if it works or not. That's one of the reasons why a lot of brands don't work with me, because if there's something wrong with it, I'm going to point it out. And lastly, before the year is up, I'd like to attend at least one writing event. Now, the problem with most expos and conferences, they cost quite a bit of money to get into, and I just don't have the cash, not just for a spot to be able to sign books or whatever, but also being able to buy the books in the first place. I mean, I could set up a plastic table from Costco and put a cheap tablecloth on it and call myself an author, but I'm not going to do that. Even if it's just going to one of these as a patron, it'd be kind of cool to see how they work and give me some ideas for future events. Not to mention the fact that they're going to get me out of the house. So there we have it. Those are my tentative goals for the rest of 2024. How has the beginning of your year gone? As I said, I didn't accomplish nearly as much as I wanted to, but, I can't really scoff at the things I did accomplish. All of my major accomplishments have only worked to progress myself forward, and I've met some awesome people along the way. Now, I always play better on the back nine, so I have a pretty positive mindset about the rest of the year, so.
Time to go home there, Ball.
Son of a bitch, Paul, why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Remember that just because you didn't accomplish the things at the beginning of the year doesn't mean it's over. There's plenty of time to do the cool things you want in life. Some of us don't have a choice. We have to take care of children or grandparents or cleaning the entire house. The family always comes first. So just because something gets postponed doesn't mean that it's over. There is plenty of time in the world. Relax. Anywho, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. For more videos about self-publishing, blogging, freelance writing, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I think it's going to do it for me today. I gotta get some marketing and some blogging done. I'll see you next time.